how are you? Happy Saturday. I hope everyone's Saturday has been going well. Welcome back to my channel, Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot here. I am back coming to you to give you another celebrity spotlight. This time, as you can tell by the title, it will be about celebrity Britney Spears. And so for those of you that are fans of hers and will be interested to see what is going on with Britney, as well as her family and friends have been very much concerned about her lately with certain antics, and just have become overly concerned about her in the past, in the recent past weeks or even days. So we're going to tap in and see what is going on there, and ultimately see really what is the message and what is going on with Britney. So again, if you are fans of Britney and you are interested to listen to this content, by all means. But in the description, I did pinpoint fans only, and why I say that is because I know that there will be some of you that will not be interested or is fans of hers, and it's okay. Just click off and maybe wait until maybe there will be a celebrity that you would be a fan of and maybe kind of interested in when it comes to them. But for those that are fans of Britney, we're going to see exactly why her family and friends are concerned. So the question of the day is, what is going on? And to be honest with you guys, I found that her reading is very direct. It's a very direct message, because I feel that Britney, pretty much her overall message she is sending is a subliminal message. And what do I mean by that? Is this: Britney is sending her friends and family alone. Leave me the heck alone. And I'm saying it nicely. So change the heck, take out the heck and put in the other word, okay? Because I don't want to say the other word. So I'm going to say heck. So that is the overall energy that I feel that Britney is sending out to her friends and family. You know, she just want to be left alone, okay? So when it comes to Britney, and when it comes to those antics, when it comes to those certain, you know, behaviors that the public and that the media and maybe her friends and family is singing, when it really comes to that, it's really no right or wrong. And when judging that, there is an underlying reason behind that, okay? And when I get into the cards, we're going to see why I feel that way. So let's get right into it. So the question will be, will Britney be all right moving ahead? All right? So remember again, what I said is this, that there is really like no wrong or right type of judging at this point. All right? So let's get into the cards and make sense of what I just said. So the first card that came out to start off her reading was the Lovers. So when this card came out, this points to currently, because again, this reading, and the interpretation of this reading and the messages I'm getting is currently. So it's not so much of, there will be one area that will speak upon her past. But right now, because the Lovers came up, this speaks about her marriage. We know that recently, last year, she did get married to her handsome husband, Sam Ashgari. I hope I pronounced it correctly, but she's married. And this is where her focus is currently. That is one part of her focus right now, is her marriage, her relationship with her husband. And she is very happy, because we have here the Page of Wands. Now, speaking of which, just so you guys would know, so you can understand when her energy pops up, she is in fact the element of fire, making her a Sagittarius. So that's the sign that Britney is. She's a Sagittarius. She's a fire sign. So this is her energy right here popping up, the Page of Wands, pertaining to the Lovers or her marriage. She's very happy. She is very much in love, and she is very much happy. Along with those two cards, the Four of Pentacles came out. This is where things begin to kind of, this is where her message and her body language This is where those antics now come into play, because the Four of Pentacles is an energy of someone that is defending his or her money, holding on tightly, defending any type of assets, but generally Pentacles speaks about money. So when it comes to her money, when it comes to her assets, when it comes to her anything that is close to her that she loves and values, that of her husband, it's like hands off, back off. And why I say that is because if you look all the way, well, if you want to zoom in closely, when I see this background here, this is like the paparazzi. This is like their setup here. So of course, whenever she goes, wherever she goes, she's always scrutinized, right? She's always having the paparazzi following her every move, and it's always being scrutinized. But when this came up, I kind of like felt that, like I said, in the background here, wherever she's at, maybe she's sitting at a restaurant, wherever she goes, the paps is right there zooming in and taking pictures of her. And this takes me back to what I said about the subliminal message of her saying, leave me the heck alone. She wants to be left alone when it comes to her out and about, spending time with her husband, or even her friends, or her loved ones. But right now, there is a certain type of space and privacy that Brittany wants right now. And when she do have those antics, when she do act out, because I believe I saw where recently her and her husband was at a restaurant, and something had happened, he left, but then they showed her pulling up the menu over her face. Because why? Because again, there is no doubt, not only, patrons there looking at her, but also no doubt outside there was camera lenses, the paparazzi's, taking shots of her. And so her bodyguard had to kind of escort her out. But just as a whole, I just feel that when she is spending time with her mate, she just wants people to just leave her alone, to respect her privacy. Now, granted, you would say, hey, that comes with her being a superstar. Absolutely. They all know that that is part of it. But yet and still, does it still make it right? Like, how many times are you able to just be okay with someone always constantly taking, pictures of you, flash bulbs flashing in your face? You just want to be able to just kind of just have that privacy time when you're spending out with your family, with your spouse, with your children, what have you, right? So that is the energy that I got from her, that she is really happy. Now, dropping down to clarify those energies, we did get the Four of Wands, and we got the Hermit. So what do these energies mean, and how do they, what is the message that is shown behind the Lovers, behind the Page of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles? Well, when I said about family, the Four of Wands is a family card. This is her. This is her feeling that she wants to, that she enjoys spending time with her husband. But also because I see the Hermit card here, the Hermit energy is an energy of alone. So is it her that wants to be alone? No. Because it's attached, and along with the family card here of the Four of Wands, she's been wanting also to spend time with her kids. She has 2 sons from her ex, Kevin Federline, and I believe that when she was dealing with that whole situation with the conservatorship back a few years ago, and with her being deemed having psychological problems, I believe that the kids then were given over to the father, and he was watching them, so she didn't have her sons, and I don't believe now she still have them. So a part of that message for me lets me know that she is working on wanting to see her children, wanting to see her sons, and hopefully that she will. I don't know when the last time she saw them physically. I'm pretty sure that she do speak to them and communicate with them over the phone. So I'm pretty sure that there are some type of communication that she have with her sons. But overall, basically this area, this first row, is just tapping into her being happy, wanting to see her children, to just right now, also, her energy and her vibe is about family. Now, whether or not that also means that she wants to, this could also mean starting a family. So whether or not she wants to even have another baby, that could be in the cards for her, you know, but that is the family card. So in whatever capacity that she wants to connect with her family, that's how she's feeling at this time. And with the Hermit being there, again, it goes right back to what I said. She want to be left alone. All right. Now, as we shift over to the second row, we come to the Nine of Swords, and we come to the Seven of Swords, as well as the King of Swords. So now, what do these energies mean? Well, going back to the Nine of Swords, this is where I mentioned earlier about the past. This is her past coming into play. Now, speaking of that conservatorship that happened years ago with her father taking over and being in total control of her money and basically her life, that in itself, because the first question I wanted to know when I asked my guides is, what is all of this stemming from? Like, what is the root behind all of this? What is the root? What is the behavior behind Brittany in the past years, even in the past, months? But I feel that lately she really has been very happy and that she's doing better. But it just kind of goes back to the initial cause, the initial stimulator, if you will, behind all of this. And because the King of Swords is here, this speaks about her father. The King of Swords is her father. And we know that he was primarily the one that was involved and was the conservator in that whole conservatorship. That's one of those words you have to kind of go slow at. You can't go fast. So I'm going to try to say it slowly when I have to say it. So remember that he was ultimately the main person that was in control of this conservatorship situation a few years ago. And so with that being said, because of the Nine of Swords being here, it's her thinking about, in terms of her now, of her life changing and coming out of it, because we do know that now she is freed of that and her father no longer has control over her conservatorship. But this is her reflecting the past. And the Nine of Swords, if you can see, is someone that is in anxiety, someone that had sleepless nights, and Lord knows she probably did had a lot of sleepless nights. But in general, there was a lot of things that she was dealing with. Psychological, the mental, physical, you name it, that Brittany went through it a lot. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't something that was enjoyable. It really brought her a lot of pain, heartache, a lot of stress. A lot of things also affected her because her career was affected. We haven't heard from her these past years in terms of her music and her singing, and her fans, kind of those that are fans, missing her because she's dealing with this very major life-changing situationship that she was dealing with her family, but her father was the ultimate one that was behind this. And so this is why the King of Swords here. Another interesting fact is also how I know it kind of shows that it's her father, because I looked up his sign. His zodiac sign is the Cancer. And the Chariot came out along with the King of Swords. So the Chariot represents the Cancer. So this is very much representation of who this depicts. That is her father that has caused her in the past a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of headache, a lot of disappointment, because a part of her feels like, why did her father have to go to great lengths to do what he did, and for some that want to kind of argue the debate here in terms of whether or not some would feel if he did the right thing, should he have done it? Was it right? Was he really looking out for her? Did he have other motives behind it? I really don't know. I didn't really tap into that. All I know is that he was the main person that was a part of it. And we know that now it's over, it's ended. So now fast forwarding behind all of that, we also got here the Seven of Swords. So now in moving ahead and how Brittany now is looking past this, because this is something that even though she have thought about or she thinks about, but yet and still, I should say, she is looking to move on with her life. And she has already, because she just got married. And that right there is a new chapter for her, right? And the Seven of Swords to me is showing me that she is ready to leave, walk away. I can't speak today. That's the Saturday type of energy right now, right? Just very relaxed. But Seven of Swords is an energy of, it can mean many things. But for this particular scenario, the Seven of Swords pertaining to Brittany is her energy, is her way of, when it comes to her father, because even though he is not no longer a part of that conservatorship, he still kind of want to still keep an eye on her, still in some kind of way want to control her. And this is a sneaky behavior. This is Brittany at times being very strategic, because the Seven of Swords can also be a move that's strategic. So I think when it comes to her life, because now she's a grown woman and he's no longer controlling her life, she moves strategically. She moves silently. She moves away, and I feel that at times she wants to kind of distance herself far away from her family, particularly her father. All right. Now, and speaking about the new chapter, about her moving on. So I feel that even if she forgave him, she didn't forget. So it's one of those things where a person can forgive a person, but they won't forget what they put them through. And remember, that conservatorship was in effect for quite a long time. Okay. It was like 15 years. Now, speaking upon that new chapter, because we did get, after the Seven of Swords, for her like wanting to like move away and just start new, we got the World card. The World card here is about a new door closing, an old chapter that has closed, and now a new one is ready to begin. And I feel that she have already done so, because she got married and now she is really ready to move on with her life. But what else do she have planned? There are other things that she have up her sleeve, and that is making a comeback in a big way. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But before I get to that, I wanted to kind of go back to the controversial moment, because it kind of puts a spin on her new direction moving ahead, because she made a quote. Now, I don't know if some of you recall, if you are diehard fans of her, you might very well remember this. And I'm speaking about a controversial thing that she did on her Instagram back in January last year of 2022, of January 27th. Fans were concerned because she had deactivated her Instagram profile, but then came back and changed her name and set the profile to River Red. And in doing so, it was basically a photo of, I'm sorry, I have gas, I'm sorry. It was a photo of a pink rose that she put in place behind the name River Rose. And so basically, she came to set the record straight, explaining the symbolism of that photo of that pink rose. And this is what she stated, and I quote, "Not having a breakdown. Nope, I'm not having a breakdown. I am who I am and moving forward in my life. I have never felt better. Exclamation mark 3 times. No, I am not this girl or that girl. I am River Red. And being able to volumize my voice in a world where I lost my rights for 15 years. Speaking about that conservatorship, gives me an opportunity to succeed." End of quote. So you see, this is where I feel that all of that kind of stemmed from. From that, when that happened, moving ahead, even up until now, it's almost like she had trigger moments. But the main person that kind of stimulated this whole behavior was her father. This is where it's, stemmed from. Now, whether or not he meant well, which I will probably say yes. As a parent, and if you see your child having certain, issues where they are not in a position to manage their money or what have you, then maybe, and they are found legitimate in being able to take over certain things until they are psychologically able to, then from that aspect, then maybe he was justified in doing that. But in the other end of the spectrum, as she got older, and it's like she still is an adult. Now, again, there's no wrong or right, and I have to keep saying it because when it comes to like, how do we really judge the situation here in hand pertaining to Brittany and her father and the conservatorship, I just feel that it is what it is. It happened, it's gone, it's past, she is free. And so when she closed out that quote and basically said that she now have an opportunity to succeed because of those rights that she pretty much gave up, or she didn't have no choice basically, for 15 years she was involved in that conservatorship with her father, then you can kind of understand how she can act out, because it's almost like a trigger from that going back to the past and thinking about what she's been through. That is something where now you have this freedom to kind of now be out of the control, be out of the eye from someone that had full control over your life. And so this is why I say at this point in her life, she's in a good place. She is very happy with her husband. She is enjoying life. She is ready to, now as we fast forward, behind that, speaking about that new chapter, she is ready to start anew. Now, before I do that, I forgot. Let me clarify the energies on top here. So to clarify the energies of the Nine of Swords, the King of Swords, the Chariot, which was, I said, her father's energy, the Seven of Swords, and the World card, we have here the Tower. I can't talk today. We have the Seven of Swords, which have come out again because it came out, it's above this here. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So what does these energies mean? Why did they come out to clarify these energies? What is the overall message? Well, going back to the Tower, this pretty much connects to the energy of the world. She is leaving behind the old chapter in her life. So the Tower can mean certain things. But for her, it means ending something to start something new. And this is what the world is. So she's closing the door. She's closing the chapter on that energy of having been dealing with that conservatorship with her father. So now that's in the past. She may have forgave him, but nonetheless, she didn't forget. But at the same time, she's in a place where she is ready to leave that old chapter behind her, to leave that part of her life which brought her a lot of anxiety, and now is ready to come back, to take on the world, to make a comeback, if you will, right? This is why the Ace of Wands is here. The Ace of Wands talks about starting new, going back to that thing that brings you passion. And because she is a Sagittarius, she's of the fire sign, this is her returning. Speaking about that comeback to the world, she is ready to make a comeback. And we do know that aces of any suit always symbolizes new starts, new beginnings. So these cards that have come out pertaining to her starting new and just making a comeback, it really comes in hand, because also as we shift over now to the last row, we have here the Ace of Pentacles. If you look closely, there are like branches that is coming out from this person's hand. And this just symbolizes that there's her life beginning to blossom, okay, if you will. Again, another ace, speaking about new beginnings. So because she got the Ace of Wands and now the Ace of Pentacles, it just really stresses and emphasizes the point that her life is ready to bloom and blossom, and that she is, in fact, making a comeback. Okay, now along with the Ace of Wands, we have with it the Three of Wands. This is Brittany, which means that she's ready to move ahead. She is ready. She's fired up. She is ready to take on new projects. I understand and read that there have been offers that has been coming to her. So she is ready to begin her embarking on her new journey, moving ahead. You can see this image here. This person is not looking back. I'm sorry if you can't see. But this energy is the one that is not looking back. They have like done went through all that they went through, their challenges, but now it's like over with. I'm ready to start a new chapter, and now I'm ready to take on and return back to the one thing that I'm passionate about. And we all know Brittany, her passion is music. So she is going to return back and make a comeback to music. We also have the Queen of Wands. This is Brittany again. She's very happy to return to her fans, to you guys. And then we have the Wheel, which is a beautiful major arcana because it shows that she is basically, you know, sitting on top of the world. The world is like her oyster. She's ready to take it on, come back full force. But also the Wheel means cycles. So again, going back to the towel that has ended for her, going back to the world. A new cycle is opening up for her. This is meaning things are going in her favor, and that she's going through cycles in her life, but now she's ready to reach that biggest cycle or that chapter in her life, and that is her return back to the music world. Okay, and let's see, I did write something. So I did write something in pertaining to her making a comeback. So it's been said that she had a successful duet with Elton John, Hold Me Closer. And after following, and that happened after the dissolution of that 15-year. It's either 13 or 15, because here I have 13 years. But it's probably 15 because it was from her statement. So after that dissolution of that 15-year conservatorship, she has already came out and made her comeback, starting off with having that duet with Elton John, Hold Me Closer. So she is, if you will, presently in the studio, being creative with her musical talents to come back to you guys, to your fans, stronger than ever. And coming down now, how we know is because we got the Empress that came out to clarify those other energies, as well as the Strength card. So like I said, not only is she ready to make a comeback and has literally kind of returned, but she's coming back full force with more power and stronger than ever, because that's what the Strength card is about: power, bravery, but coming back more stronger than ever before. So whatever and however she brought it years ago with her music, now she's going to kind of put more passion behind it, and she is going to bring you fans a lot of what you've been missing, because it's been a few years that she's come out, that she has not come out with any music. So with her being back in the studio and working on projects and working on things, she's ready to now greet and open you guys. She missed you guys. The Empress here is nurturing, but a lot of love. It doesn't have to be love to oneself. It doesn't have to be love to family. It can be love to anyone that you connect with. And she missed the connections that she has with her loyal fans. She missed that connection. And so she's ready to see you guys and to bring you her best yet. Okay? Now as we close out, we have here the Fool. We have here the Seven of Pentacles, along with the Hierophant. So what do these energies mean? Because basically, I won't going to bring out these cards or go back in, because I pretty much felt that the message and the energy was just like I said, leave me the heck alone. And because it was a straightforward message, I didn't really feel the need to kind of go back in and get any more clarifiers, but I did. Because what I wanted to now really ask my guides was, will she be okay? Will she be all right? So this is why the Fool came out, because the Fool to me is just like the Ace of Pentacles, starting new. It's also like the World card. It can also be like the Wheel. All those cards are major arcanas, like the Fool. Major arcanas, whenever it comes out in the reading, just intensifies the impact, intensifies the endeavor of something or someone moving ahead that's going to make them happy. And this is Brittany. This is her spirit, that she's ready to take a leap of faith, to embrace and come out and ready to work, because the Seven of Pentacles is about working, getting back to work. Like I said, she's already gone back into the studio, working on that music to come back to give you guys what you've been craving, what you've been missing, her loyal fans. And then we close out with the Hierophant. So what is the Hierophant about? The Hierophant is one of the most spiritual cards in the tarot deck. But for me, it signifies that there are moments and times that I think Brittany, particularly with her husband, because I see that her husband is her best friend at this time. Even though she has friends, and even though she knows that her family, her other family, and her friends mean well. But when I mentioned earlier about her just really wanting to be alone with her mate, I really think she's just craving for that privacy. And I think right now, her best friend and the person that she's closest to right now is her husband. Okay? And I say that because the Hierophant is dealing with things spiritual, religion, any type of spirituality, any type of religion, any type of spiritual activities, anything that you engage in. And I feel that when I look at this and draw the energy of what it is and why the Hierophant came out, is because I think that Brittany has in some way become spiritual. But I do believe and feel that she might like kind of take moments where her and her husband go on like spiritual retreats. Maybe she's connecting to her own, higher source, where she meditates. I find that to keep her grounded, because meditation is an activity, and I have that on my channel. I also have a meditation channel, and that is one of the things that I mentioned about meditation. Meditation connects you to your own divine self, but it connects you to your higher source, right? Whoever your belief system is. But it also helps ground you. It grounds and balances your mind, body, and soul. So this is what I feel, and why the Hierophant here is just to express that I think that there are times that she meditates a lot. She might maybe engage in yoga, whatever she feels that will make her spiritually grounded and keep her balanced and keep her mind healthy, as well as her body and her soul. I think that's what she does. All right. So guys, that is what I got pertaining to celebrity Britney Spears. If in fact you enjoyed this reading and you want to as well express how you feel about the interpretation of what I felt, by all means let me know in the comment section, as long as it's respectful. But let me know. You could put your own spin on what you may think, your opinions. I was going to say something else, but do know that with anything else, time is fluid. So with that being said, as of today, from this reading, this is just current energies of what I have picked up pertaining to Britney. There's universal law. There is free will, which means that any of these energies from the messages that have come out today pertaining to her can always shift and change. But for today, I'm speaking about her current energy and what it is that she is in the process of doing, moving ahead. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, you know what to do. Send some spark and fire to that thumb to give me a thumbs like if you did like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you can kind of take here and see other content that I do pull up on my channel, and you can share. And like I said, you could drop me a comment to let me know what you think about my reading for Britney today. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a rest of a wonderful Saturday evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will be back to give you your spirit animal totem for tomorrow, Sunday, to see what totem you guys got going on for all of us. So until then, have an amazing evening. See you next time. Bye.